Are you warm? Are you comfy? Are you settled in and just ready to have some fun?
10 years later, she goes to a dance for victims of the war. She gets into the elevator. This gentleman gets into the elevator after her. The dance was on the 10th floor. By the time they got to the 10th floor, they decided to go back down. 3 months later, they were married. Would you say that was a good elevator pitch?
So my injury was my game changer. My teacher was pain. And I learned all kinds of things through my own experience about what pain can do, particularly chronic pain. But then another game changer came. I found myself reading books on who am I? What's my life really about? Spiritual insights, trying to understand, if I have to live with this, how do I do this well?
And I was writing a story at the time. I'm like, okay, well, maybe this is it. Like, I only have one thing. There's not much I can do. I can sit here and type. So I kept typing, and next thing I know, I'm done my story. And for the first time in a long time, I was like, I had shared it with a couple of people that are avid readers, and they're like, wow, you know what, that's a really good story. And they were really surprised. And I was like, yeah, thanks a lot.
And guess what? 31 years old, I attained my goals. I had a wonderful husband, fabulous daughter. I was the manager of government relations at a provincial trade association, working in my field. I went to school for political science and economics. I had it made. I was miserable. I was so unhappy. Every day I went to work, I went, this is not it, this is not it, this is not it. And when you're not doing what you love, that unhappiness is an infection. And I didn't know what I loved. I didn't know what I was going to do, but I knew this wasn't it.
Most of my travel is industrial tourism. I go for work, so I don't need to look very good. I can dress in khakis and sweaters and T-shirts sometimes, so I can get away without a lot of fancy clothes. But if I do have to dress well, then I'll take one suit or a blazer and a pair of pants that kind of go together, sort of. Everybody knows I'm a fashion disaster, so that doesn't really matter too much. But when it comes to things like socks and underwear, they're all black. The underwear is all white. It doesn't really matter. They're all the same. And if I just had two pairs, I could make it work, because every other day you do the laundry.
Apparently, I spoke quite late in life. I was 3 before I uttered a word. And my mother was told that I was retarded when I was born because of the umbilical cord cutting off my oxygen. So don't expect too much from her. That's how it started. Don't expect too much. Don't push her too much. She's always going to have trouble. This poor little baby. Well, this poor little baby's 6 foot tall. And this poor little baby struggled every day for what she wanted, for what she needed, for what she didn't understand, for what she challenged. But this poor little baby had courage, and that's what I want to share with you, is courage.
Plastic wrapped brick of money, which is the first time I've ever seen $100,000 cash. And then she started counting out the 10,000s and the 6,000. She gave me $167,000 cash. She said, do you have any security with you? I said, no, I really wasn't expecting to actually be picking up cash. She said, well, do you have like a bag or something? I said, no. She said, here, gave me a cardboard box. We put this money in a cardboard box. I turned to take it off the desk, and whoop, the bottom dropped out. It was a $167,000 money shower. And I was like, what is going on? Have you ever had one of those moments in your life where you're sure that there are candid cameras watching you? Well, this is one of those moments. Anyhow, I collected the money. My heart was racing as I had to drive through Uzbekistan, a country where you could get killed for $1,000. And I did get that money safely to my safe in my office, and I sat down. I felt like I'd been in an episode of like Indiana Jones, like the movie, sort of thing.
You can do anything. You can stand up here and share your heart and receive the love that flows from the audience. You can do anything.